I'm Jerry Nolan, and like a lot of you out there, I spend a good bit of my time on someone else's clock and under a deadline. But when my weekend gets here, I'm on my own clock, and sometimes I just have to get away. So follow me, and I'll show you some far-out places to go, some cool things to do that won't necessarily break the bank. So what are you waiting for? Put down that honey-do list and catch me if you can.
Hey y'all, here we are. I got a special surprise for you today. I got a special guest with me. Y'all gonna want to see him. You always like seeing him. And something we're gonna do today is one of our favorite things to do. Certain times of the year is the best time to do it, and that's when the weather starts getting a little cool. But we're gonna hunt an old homestead. That's right. I know you would never, riding by here, could tell that there was a house back here, but there's actually a small farm in these woods, and it is something else to see, something you're going to want to see. So hey, y'all stay with us this next 28 minutes or so, and you're going to be in for a treat. There he is, everybody.
Yeah, Junior's pretty growed up in here. I hope we don't run into wild creatures in here or nothing, because it's pretty growed up. You can see bamboo and all these wild cherry trees, mimosas and stuff, but it looked kind of spooky in here. I hope you got your weapon of mass destruction with you.
Well, I know I got my snake boots on, so
All right.
that's one thing I don't have to worry about, I think.
Yeah, because you can't run too fast through here. There's too many trees to run into, so let's hope we don't run into no wasp nests or no rattlesnakes or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's pretty thick in here, man. This is, man, look at this place.
It is growed up, man. There's the old barn over there.
Yeah, here's, we first come in the woods, there's a barn here, kind of old barn. This one had a screen door on it, and going in.
Yeah, let me know what you find in there.
These back here to the back part of this barn.
Oh man, plenty of spider web. What you see back there, don't you?
Buckets and cans, more jars.
Old rat's nest. Ain't no telling how many rats is in there now. And them, I imagine them snakes feed pretty good off the rats around here. So I guarantee you there's some fattened up snakes around here somewhere. But hopefully we won't find one today.
Here's the other side of that barn we was just looking at.
There's an old harness off something, old leather harness went around something. So they ain't no telling what we'll find laying around here or still piled up. Man, look at the jars.
Look at the jars. There's some cookie sheets. Somebody want them?
Cooking sheets, jars, because they'd pickle up all their stuff, and I ain't going in there.
I might.
Well, you can. Yeah, there's a trunk right there, probably
full
of money right
that's
there.
What.
Look at the trunks.
Open that up with that tater.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stand
Here we go. Stand by. Hey.
Look out! Look out! Oh,
Nothing.
nothing but rats. My goodness, rat haven. Of course, the money could be up under that. Let me see if this hen does anything. Get ready to run. Look at there. I seen a
empty.
Yeah, it's empty. But look at it still got the claw, the stuff in there. It's
in pretty good shape, Jesse.
Yeah, it ain't bad shape. But that's, this stuff been here for 30 years or longer.
Untouched.
Yeah, untouched.
Well, except for some folks have been back here.
There is some syrup up there. I do believe that's syrup. And some old, oh, look at that old white. Now that's some old mason jar right there. I like to see exactly what.
Oh yeah, look at that one.
That one right there on the right.
Yep.
That's the old one. That's from the that jar alone right there is probably about 80 or 90 years old. That one there with that porcelain lid. Yeah, Junior's a little braver than I am, and I think he's fitting to crawl up in this barn. He's a little younger than I am too.
Gloves, so, really. Yeah.
I think he's losing his nerve. He said he's going in there, but now he's making up excuses. Go for it, Junior. Ah! Oh my goodness. gonna try to see what's in that mason jar. It looks like syrup. If we had a biscuit, Junior can try some of it out.
Alright. Here we go.
Go on in, Junior.
Surely this can handle another, 125 pounds.
More like 200, ain't it? What you got there, Junior?
Yeah, I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's old, but I don't think it's like one of those rare ball mason jars, number 13 or anything, but it is a mason jar.
Yeah, it's a mason jar, and I hadn't seen, really, I've dug up a lot of jars, but I've never seen one that said white grown on there.
Oh, here we go. This is a good one.
Oh, yeah. That had to be, looked like syrup to me, and it's been in there for a while. I don't know if I'd eat any of it or not.
Looking around in here, there's all kind of jars and bottles. An old thermos back there. I just don't want to take the chance of walking through there. It'll probably hold me. It's holding the weight of all this stuff, but it may not hold a little extra weight. And I'm gonna grab this last mason jar up here because that one does look a little interesting. Either it's full or it's brown. The glass is colored.
What you got, Junior?
All right, this is the Ball Perfect Mason
It looks
jar.
like it's full, ain't it?
Yeah, and this one's got the juice in it. We're gonna find out. That might be some.
Yeah, it could be pure honey, you think?
I don't know, but it's full.
Well, we'll get a biscuit when we leave here and we'll try it out.
Sound good to me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, he's around here.
There's the old stove ain't nobody cooked on in a little while.
Yeah, I've been looking for me an old stove like that, y'all. So if I got any fans out there, fans of the show, that know where one of them is right there, that's not full of it looks like corn shucks and husk and everything else, but one I can easily get to, I sure would like to have me one. We're still in that same little barn. Here's another room to it, and like I said, they got a stove out here, and here's a ladder that goes up to the loft, and I think I'm gonna take a look up there because that's one of the places where most people ain't gonna go, and that's where there might be the treasure.
You're brave, Junior. These old barns here is pretty well where they kept the chickens and probably worked on stuff. You can see old carburetor thing come off. There's a glass bowl for a carburetor, but they probably some kind of work shed. There's a wheel. That's a steel wheel, but I don't know what it. I don't know if that'd be a wagon wheel or come off. It's hard to say, really. But they left all their buckets around here, their feed buckets and all kind of buckets, just like they left it back in the 80s.
Yeah, that's one of the things we keep saying. The 80s, the way they left it back in the 80s. That woman was 90 years old when she died in the early 80s, and pretty much lived here her whole adult life. Her and her husband. We know their names, but we can't say them on TV because we don't want to give this part of the farm away. A friend of ours asked us not to say their name because somebody might know who these folks were, but. Yeah, I mean, this was a working farm, and you figure back in them days, they didn't throw anything away. and they kept it, and most of it is still here, I bet you. I'm sure somebody's come out here and picked up the really, really good stuff, but who says that they even knew what they were looking for? Because I think we do.
Oh yeah.
There's just so many places, so many things to see in here. It really is. This is one of those places you don't get to hunt a whole lot. That people don't get to hunt, but we lucky enough we are. And if you ever get the chance to do it, you better take full advantage of it, because this is something else to see.
Junior, here's a couple more barns over this way. They must be, like I say, it's so growed up you can't see a whole lot, but here's a barn, look like it's kind of leaning to the right there a little bit. And there's another old barn over there to the left of it. So let's see if we can find an opening around here. This is the back of the barn, I guess, and it's right across from the chicken barn we was just in. So, and then there's another barn over there. So it's like a little old community in here of barns. And well, I ain't seen the house yet, but I know it's somewhere in here.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, right through there is that first barn that we walked up on when we came into this property. Right through there, and you can barely see it.
I've never seen one with a bottom in it like that.
Spider webs everywhere. Another old barn. This is now this one you're having to step down into.
You think it's maybe where they had hogs in here, maybe, or?
I don't know. Maybe up here where they've got the different corrals, like how this is fenced in, which that doesn't make any sense. They must have been into raising some chickens. Another chicken coop or something.
Yeah, and they had the wire up here,
Yeah.
high up here to keep them from getting out.
Yeah,
or something,
keep them from getting out and something from getting in.
and the guy done a lot of homemade stuff, and here's something that was homemade. Them pegs here you can tell was hand carved. There's gonna be a lot of stuff we're gonna find around here that we really don't know what it was used for, but we're gonna pretty much leave stuff like we find it. And there's a few old screen doors. I gather used to have screen on them over here, and they didn't throw no jars away. I mean, they kept their jars, and everywhere we look, we're gonna find jars and homemade tools. And there's a lot more to see yet. We just now scratching the surface.
Yeah, we just now getting here in this.
And they ain't run across no varmints yet neither. That's a good thing. But we noticed all sorts of stuff
kind of
hanging on the
little
walls and everywhere else.
Stuff like this everywhere.
Yeah, and I noticed there's another barn over here with a roof done fell in on it, but there's all sorts of things hanging on the side of that. So we're gonna give y'all a shot of that and see if y'all know what some of that stuff is. Well, Junior, it's all growed up vines and bamboo, but that looked like that might have been an old windmill right there.
Yeah, let's get in here where we can see the frame, because you can't hardly see it. It's so thick, but look at that, y'all.
Yeah, you talking about the power, the old power line run to that shed, and the windmills would turn and make the electricity and pump their water, run their well pump. And there's some concrete blocks over there, probably where the well was, I'm not sure.
That's how they used to do it back then, y'all. This is how we can still do it today. Yeah, look at this vine, how it just growed. It's growed around that pipe. Right there, that's the pipe.
Yeah, look, it went round and round that pipe till it got up to where the water tank or windmill was. The frame's still here, and that looked like the well house. There's a water spigot coming out on this side.
Yeah, here's the old water spigot. See if anything, get some water.
Yeah,
No,
I could use a
open.
drink of water.
I know it. We're gonna send the old yeah, okay, there's the tank right there. So Yep, so the old windmill probably pumped the well for them. Look at that, y'all. There she is. Big old rat nest or something in there. Hey, like I said, this is something else. We're just walking through here, and there are a lot of goodies in here to be picked. A lot of antique stuff, old stuff. It's pretty neat, though. I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna go through here and check this out. There's a kind of a building that's off from the rest of them, and I think I probably know what this one might be. The outhouse. So where there's an outhouse, there must be a in-house when you live in. There's a building right through here. Look at this bamboo. This is the kind of stuff you build a hut out of. How thick that is. I found the outhouse. Look at this. I'm surprised our buddy ain't come in here and harvested this bamboo. Made him a few dollars.
Well, he said he thought it was sugar cane until he tried eating a piece of it.
Oh no, said he thought it was sugar cane till he ate a piece of it. Yep, that's got to be the outhouse.
You get a picture of you sitting in there, Junior. And then watch out, because you never know what's going to run out of there. Here to pull in that back, because something runs out of there, both of us got to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull some of it back and see if we're right. There's the hole. There the hole is.
Yep.
Bubba, you outdid yourself on that fishing tackle.
ADO Outfitters low prices, baby, crazy daisy. They got a boatload of rod and reels for $22.95. Camping gear, kayaks, coasters, worms, lures, freshwater and saltwater reels out the yin yang. And hey, outdoor clothing for men, women, and kiddos.
I remember seeing that ADO Outfitter guy getting splashed on TV.
No TV, Jack. On the well. That's what you call a water hazard.
Supplying products that build dreams. Short and Park.
At Short & Park, we have everything for your next paint project, from the inspiration to the application. At Short & Park's Paint Center, you can browse each of the 1,900 plus colors in the Voice of Color palette, all in one place. From the most traditional whites and creams to the boldest, brightest tones, we have a personal color collection for every project. Find your color inspiration at Short & Park.
Supplying products that build dreams. Short and Park.
I need some more pots and pans.
Pots and pans for what? You don't even cook.
Not for cooking. I need pots and pans to catch all this water. This roof is leaking in 40 places.
Don't buy more pots and pans. Call Smith Built in Sasser, 698-5000. Buy metal roofing and siding direct from the manufacturer and save. Get yourself a new roof that will virtually last a lifetime.
Run, Luke, run!
Bubba, you outdid yourself on that fishing tackle.
ADO Outfitters low prices, baby, crazy daisy. They got a boatload of rod and reels for $22.95. Camping gear, kayaks, coasters, worms, lures, freshwater and saltwater reels out the yin yang. And hey, outdoor clothing for men, women, and kiddos.
I remember seeing that ADO Outfitter guy getting splashed on TV.
No TV, Jack. On the well. That's what you call a water hazard.
Yeah, so we're just easing through this bamboo forest looking for the house. We have yet to see it. We found a bunch of barns, chicken coops, storage buildings. Thunder mug. Like I said, it is thick. And what you see through this camera is about as good as what we see.
Junior ain't gonna believe this, finally. The outhouse is back behind you. And I'm seeing what I'm believing is the house over here.
All right, y'all, we've been scratching around, looking around, poking around, looking in and out, and we finally have found the main building out here, the house. Yeah, the house has a, you know, it was, when it was originally built, it was probably, you know, just wood plank, and then you know, you never know. And then at one time they upgraded, got some money, and saved the money, and then
Bricked it.
yeah, bricked it in with some of that asphalt shingle type siding. They sided the house with that faux brick, and you still see this every now and then in an old place somewhere. Well, they was high dollar here, Jesse. They had concrete steps.
Oh yeah.
And so these folks had a little bit of money out here. Coffin. There's the bathroom back there. Got some more of that fake looking tile brickwork. We was told a story that the woman that lived here, her husband passed years before she did, and they had kids, and that their kids come out here and put her a toilet in the house sometime in the 70s, and for her to use, so she wouldn't have to go to the outhouse. And the story goes is that she said she would never use that toilet. And the story also goes that she never did use it. So here's the bathroom. Here's her apron, y'all. Look at this right here. Oh! Y'all hear Jesse scream?
Sorry about that, dude.
I kicked the can by accident, and Jesse screamed, took off running. Yeah, at some point somebody came in here and cleaned out Grandma's house. Took the furniture. Who knows what to do with it.
But there's several drinking glasses, some more of them back here. There's the old shoe, but yeah, there's another drinking glass. That and there's even got a little design on it. Let's see what it is.
Oh, goose or something, bird.
Is that what that is?
Eagle.
Look at the bones coming out there. A bone come out. That is a duck. You know, our brother Jimmy and Alan, well, all of them, Jimmy, Alan, Jerry, Philip, all of them like duck meat, and but that's the ducks on there. That's cool.
They can't get enough of duck meat. And here's the old bedroom.
Like my eggs.
Oh, got a calendar. Got an old wood ironing board right here. Got a good calendar. December 1980. Y'all, it's
hey,
colonial breed. Look at that black widow.
Yeah, black widow up in there. Hey, that's a cool looking calendar. Let me fold it where you can get some pictures of it. The shots of it, I get spider bit. That look like a fruit cake. December, yeah.
March.
There's my birthday right there, Junior, on the 29th.
March 29th.
Ain't got but 29 days in there? Okay.
No, it was 30.
Okay, March the 29th. I'm watching for that big black widow spot. Man, look at that ham on there, would you? And that's it. That's the end of it. That's November 80.
There's my birthday right there on a Wednesday. Yep.
I thought you was hatched.
I was 10 years old that day.
All right.
An old house, y'all. Don't have very many years left in it, so glad we're here documenting it while we can. Because we very well could be the last folks to walk through here. You know, this is, Jesse, this was the breezeway. Back door, front door. You open up them two doors, let that air come through here, open up these bedroom doors off of the breezeway.
And that was another, you reckon what was about a 3-bedroom house maybe?
Yeah, I mean, and ooh, look at that snake right there. Coming out of the wall.
Goodness gracious. Get up there where you get a closer look at them, Joe.
You the one with the potato rake.
Ain't not a floor ain't solid. Yeah, there's a snake there, and
he probably felt us walking around in here, and he come out to investigate. He felt that vibration.
I bet he's got to be 6 foot long. That's just half of him hanging out there.
He had him a good old spot in that hole in that wall. There he is, y'all.
Yeah, that's him. He's a big fat one. Look at he's coming.
He's
on
still
out.
coming, yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's coming this way. Come on over here.
He's coming right to us, y'all.
I want to see how long he is, Junior. He's got to be. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, he's 6 foot by what we can see right now.
Yeah, he's still crawling and goes on and on.
This is his house, y'all. This is his house.
I'm glad I didn't walk up on him in there, because I would have had to go to the outhouse then.
Jesse, what do you think? What do you think about the old place? What's your final thoughts out here as we wrap this hunt up?
I think it's something else. It's just, I wrote a song one time called Old Shotgun House and the memories, and if the stories could be told, I like to know some of the stories out here. But I find it pretty interesting and really enjoy doing this. How about you, Junior?
We're a good ways from a paved road. It's a dirt road comes back here, and then the house is off of an old farm road. Really in the middle of basically the deep woods here. And like I said, this has been something else, a great experience, and I'm glad I got to share this with you guys today and Uncle Jesse. I mean, we had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed today's show, and I hope to see you right back here next weekend.